milkshakes really 1950s?
And welcome, one and all. It's a very fine question, Isabel. Milkshakes, 1950s. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wobbly Player Syndrome, episode 15. Yes, we're still going because nobody's shut us down yet. Not from lack of trying, though. We have some people here that you may remember, and a special guest that you don't remember. Well, she has some fairly rude comments in the chat that's sometimes outrageous. But first up, the man with a beard. Michael, how you going? I got him just as having a drink. It was perfect timing.
Oh, of course. The best timing.
Excellent.
I'm doing good. It's my birthday. Of course I'm doing good.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Scotch.
It's hard to blow out, but it's good. You look so much younger. You've done well. And that voice, he has no camera this week. It is Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hello. I am Nurgle afflicted, so I will save you as the view of that.
Oh, no fun in that, really, is there? That was it?
Oh.
He doesn't know. That's right. It's incoherent without alcohol. Yay! And as I said, we have a special guest. She has not been on our podcast before. She is making our podcast a lot prettier than it normally is. Isabel, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
And
very lovely lies you're telling about me. We did have a happy birthday to Michael earlier, but happy birthday, Michael, for the camera.
Yeah.
There we go. For
Happy
the camera.
birthday.
Yeah. Sponsored by.
I'm only here because you're talking about digital things, and I do digital things.
We are. This month's episode is Do You Even Platform Bro? Because we'll start talking about the electronic side of the Warhammer world. But first we have our normal lineup. I should throw over to Isabel to do all the things. You got the run sheet, right, Isabel?
I do believe Michael's up with the new releases.
No, I copied it into a Word document. I'm looking at it right now. Google Docs, actually.
Oh, well, we could find out a bit more about Isabel. Why are you here? What are you doing here? Huh?
I've known you for a couple of years now, and I've attended the podcast and watched it and posted rude comments in the chat quite a bit. And I used to play Warhammer 40k back in the day, before I had kids, and I think I'm the first person of my group of friends that I still keep in contact with who got a Warhammer 40k book, because I still have my copy of Rogue Trader that I got when I was something like 14.
And that is why you're allowed on the podcast. And also later on, because we've got a camera, we will match your handprint to the handprint on my Land Raider. For the people who've listened to the podcast, I've mentioned that someone happened to have a few drinks and fall and decide to lean on my Land Raider. Won't name any names and who did that.
It wasn't me.
Sounds like something Steve would do.
Yeah, well. It's going back many years ago.
Maybe it was me.
Not that I'm sore about it. I'll never bring it up.
Does it surprise you that I don't remember?
No. And what is on the new releases, please, Michael? Otherwise I'll go down memory lane.
A plan with no possible drawbacks. New releases. Well, I mean, we got Kill Team Elites,
yes.
Which everyone's been talking a lot about. So that should be interesting when it comes out, because it's still on pre-order, yeah?
I think so.
There was a bunch of other Kill Teams came out, / are coming out. There was a bunch of stuff for, Shadespire, or whatever the second version of Shadespire is. I think there's a new thing with a different name that's the same thing.
That.
Yeah, the Underworlds series.
I got one right.
Shadespire was the first. You did.
Yeah.
Gold star for you.
Right.
I don't have
I'm
a
retiring.
gold star,
See ya.
so I'll show you some gold paint. There you go. That's close enough to a gold star.
Thank you.
I'll
just hold up my trophy. There you go.
I think they did a temporary re-release of the Grand Master Edition of Adeptus Titanicus. I've talked about the Slanesh stuff so many times, I should probably not talk about that again.
What's Slanesh stuff?
Slanesh stuff, well, also there's all that stuff in the Warhammer Fest, like so much stuff.
Oh, the Warhammer Fest.
The 30k stuff, man. I am so excited about all the 30k stuff because, like, I've been waiting for my freaking First Legion Dark Angel shit for so long.
How long?
And Book 9 is coming out, and they're going to give me, like, cool rules, and they're finally going to release fucking Lionel Johnson. There's our first swear of the thing. And it's going to be
Won't
great.
be the last.
No, it will not be the last. But yeah, and the new Dark Angels look really sick. There's a bunch of new Mechanicus stuff coming out. First, we'll talk about the Knights because they're the good bits. All those cool new armagers. There's a new Porphyrion because, we need encouragement to buy a second Porphyrion, apparently. There was the bloody contrast paints got announced, which we spent about half an hour arguing about how they even work earlier on. There was White Scars and Blood Angels for 30k. There was new 40k AdMech stuff. I'm pretty sure it's 40k. The hover boats look 40k-ish.
Oh, they look so cool. I just love it.
There was even
that transport. Yeah.
Yeah, they are really cool. The Warcry stuff actually looks pretty interesting too, which is like that new skirmish thing they're doing for AOS with all the Chaos Warbands that fight each other. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but seeing all these new models makes me kind of interested. So I possibly will end up getting into that as well because I needed more things to spend money on, obviously. There's even new Necromunda stuff. Like they announced that there's going to be finally an Enforcer gang, so we're going to get arbitrators and shit, which is going to be great.
There's also Mercenaries
hired
coming
guns.
out.
Did they re-release Necromunda?
Yep.
Yeah, they re-released Necromunda in 2017, wasn't it?
I don't need your very recent history to prove how terrible I am at this.
That's cool. I only know because I am a massive Necromunda fanboy, and so when it came out, I was like, I must buy all of the Necromunda, and I bought all of the Necromunda.
Oh, I love Necromunda.
It's so good.
Yeah.
We used to play that when we were mature, and we called it Necroboobies.
Yeah, the models aren't that anymore.
Yeah, no, the Escher are totally sensibly dressed and shit now.
Outrageous.
It sounds probably much better.
It is, actually. I actually really like the changes they made to the new game. It's all, especially when they made it with, you can play it as on a 2D board representing fighting in tunnels and shit, which is really cool, and I like that. But you can still play it in 3D like old Necromunda, which was also cool.
This is so cool.
I'm genuinely looking at everything you're talking about as you speak. I'm just Googling everything.
You're learning.
Well, the kill team they've just released is actually called Rogue Trader.
Oh, that one came out a while ago, didn't it?
Okay.
Kill Team Rogue Trader.
It was the first one.
It is fairly new. That was one of the things. I've yet to build my set of that. I bought that because it looks so sick, and I haven't got around to building it because I buy too much freaking shit. The new one that they just announced and has on pre-order now is Kill Team Elites.
So you bring in the Elites, which the
Yes,
Kill Team should be made of, I guess.
Well, it makes sense that a kill team is going to be a small elite force.
Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense. They also brought out book 2 of the Warhammer Adventure series, Warhammer Books for Kids.
Yeah, I haven't got to pick those up yet.
Did.
My son tried the little preview one, and he really enjoyed it. So I went, well, where's your money at?
Yeah, I've been reading the Necron one to my boys, and they seem to be enjoying it. And it's not super murdery.
I was going to say, I'll just read Horus Heresy to my boys.
Although it kind of starts off with a hive city getting destroyed by Necrons, so, it's still very 40k.
Oh, they should. They are Necrons.
Yes.
Not known to be party animals.
That Loon Curse came out as well. That was a new release, and that's sold out already.
Oh, yeah.
They've run out of copies.
Look at all the squigs.
That was super popular. It's like goblins and elves, though. Who's into goblins and elves? That sounds like fake news, clearly.
That's all I saw.
Yeah, I guess everyone wants the cool new squigs.
Yeah. Oh, we should have done a sound check on what do we call it? Twitch? We do have sound on the...
Sound check? Oh my god, does Twitch have sound?
Oh, well...
Yes, it does, because it started and I heard it, so it totally works. Let me just unmute it.
Well...
Yeah, it works fine.
Well, I'm going to rudely interrupt you because I just thought we weren't recording.
Really? Oh, well, we're on Twitch, though.
Yeah, I can get it from there. I should be able to get it from there. Yes.
Yeah, Soccer
right.
says apparently the sound works.
Whew, that was lucky. Yeah.
That was lucky. We just haven't recorded it.
Yeah.
So will you be able to strip the audio from Twitch? Or?
Yeah, because I can download the video and strip it. I do enjoy this stripping. Sorry? That one was
Yeah,
recorded.
Just might not be the right quality.
Tease that data, those bits and bytes.
Yeah.
Look, I'm on it this week. The worse of the quality, the better.
Your dulcet tones won't come through quite as nicely, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, I did have PC reformat, so apparently the settings weren't the same as it was before.
The settings are never the same, even when there's no format.
I know.
I don't know what drugs it's on.
Yeah, you spend half an hour messing with the sound every time.
Yep. I'm trying to get that
I'm
perfect
convinced the
voice.
program doesn't remember the settings.
I'm looking for the brown note.
I'm waiting for the incense and the chants to the Omnissiah.
Whatever works for us, eh? So,
Oh Lord, we beseech thee, grant me
It's the machine gods.
like a man of
Always the
standard
machine
TCP/IP.
So there's a fair amount of new stuff, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, there's actually. I was complaining earlier that there's not much new stuff, but there's a bunch of new stuff. Just a lot of it's announcements and not releases, and a lot of it's Warhammer or other stuff. It's not like 40k, so I wasn't immediately paying attention.
Except when you saw the Dark Angels.
But Dark Angels. I mean, it's 30k. I love 30k. I am hard for heresy. It's great.
Hated to see that there was more Knights coming out. You're upset.
Yeah, totally. Well, it means I need to buy more Knights, is the problem. That's the problem with them releasing more Knights. And that means I need to paint more Knights. That's the worst bit.
I don't see this this terrible problem afflicting you too badly.
You seem to be dealing okay.
Yeah, but forcing me to do all these Knights are going to be so poor, he says, drinking his 19-year-old scotch.
What I did see you in the announcements at the Warhammer Fest, which is perfect for tonight, is the Warhammer Underworlds Online. So they're actually releasing a PC version of it.
Yes, I saw that was a thing, but I didn't actually read into it.
Well, I just gave you all the information they have.
Cool! So there's going to be a game in the future!
Warhammer Underworlds Online. Bringing all the thrills, the ultimate competitive miniatures game to your PC in gorgeous detail. There you go. Gorgeous detail. None of that haggard stuff.
There's a lot of mist. I'm just looking at it on Steam right now.
It does have a lot of mist. There's a lot of steam.
Oh!
Got it.
If it's anything like the last time they announced a Warhammer Online, it'll come out in 14 years.
Good. Well, we'll get to that gaming area. What do we talk about next? Hobby progress. Hobby progress? How's your hobby progress going, Isabel?
I thought about going into my cupboard and getting out the probably 15 different tanks that I've never built that are still in boxes.
The ones you keep saying I could have, but I've never seen them. Yeah, I remember.
Well, you've stayed in that room so often and never asked me about them. I would just hand them to you, except I have to dig them out from under the camping gear.
I'll take that too. It's all right. Give me something to do while camping.
Yeah, see, Soccer remembers Warhammer Online.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed Warhammer Online, and then it went silly.
Same. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we should wait not talk about that.
True.
We're actually talking
We'll
about.
scrub that. We'll edit that. Yeah.
we'll fix that in post because we do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, Mark, the voice from above, where's that hobby progress of yours?
I'm not sure what I mentioned last month or last time and that, but much more NIDs painted. I got all my Termagants painted, though I still have a new box that need to be assembled. I've made a start on my Hormagaunts. I'm a bit of the way through my Rippers. So, and my Hive Tyrant arrived on Saturday.
Flew in?
So, I'm hoping that having the Hive Tyrant will motivate me to do the other crappy little miniatures that I don't really want to paint.
Thought you finished with the Ultramarines.
Well, I've got 6 of those undercoated. I just haven't really been motivated to play any more blue, like paint any more blue. So, yeah.
That's fair enough.
But you never know.
Now I'm tempted to make Ultramarines.
Was what? Tempted to make Ultramarines.
Well, yeah, because they come with a exclusive Ultramarine Primaris Lieutenant, because it's always a fucking Primaris Lieutenant. And he's like covered in Ultramarine sigils and stuff, so my Conquest stuff is probably going to end up being Ultramarines, because I'm a magpie who never stays on one project for 10 minutes.
Speaking of, what project are you working on now then?
Well, I did paint more orange on my cultists this month.
Exciting.
I probably should have finished that squad of cultists, or those several squads of cultists. But I think last time I'd finished painting the Jackal Alphas, and that was about it. This month I've pretty much just painted more orange on all of the cultists for the next 250. But it is the next 250, so it doesn't have to be done yet.
Fair enough.
Doesn't have to be done till next month, right?
Yeah. That's the theory. 250. Yeah, the first 2
And I
months.
built a Nurgle Demon Prince, as you do.
Oh, that guy. I like my Demon Prince better.
He is pretty funky. I didn't have this resin one, and the other day I was like, oh, you know what? I should pick that up before they replace it with a better model. So I did.
Yeah, it's a pretty good model. Good. Yeah, so slow grow, 250 points still, 500 points next month. My progress is I painted a base of one of my witches.
Cool.
It's been that kind of month. Isn't it?
Sorry, there was more. No, I've got all. I do have all the materials now to start working on the big bench. So that will start being done each day. So the mess behind me, if you're watching on the Twitter,
On
the Twitch,
on the Twitch.
on the Twitch, I'm okay. It's not too much to drink yet. All right, it's just what are we drinking? Red Nut. So that's a very light beer, as we all know.
Oh, Red Nut.
Have another couple of those. My God.
Yeah.
That's that super weak one that they make, isn't it?
Yeah. I better get a light beer. Red is light.
Red's
it
light.
hasn't got cluster 12 on it. So
No, true.
what are you
I
complaining
mean,
about?
you're drinking beer, are you? Yeah, that's hard.
So I do have picked up the wood yesterday. Yeah, I got wood, all the bolts and stuff. So I'll start doing that. Once that's up and running, I'll start streaming again more often as well. So and you won't have the big mess. So that's been my hobby, the real stuff, not the real stuff, the real big stuff.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, but I still have to challenge myself to get that 1 hour of painting to try and get this. I mean, it's 500 points next month, and I haven't even finished painting the first 250. So.
Oh, the 30k guys were like, "Hey, let's start a 30k slow grow," and I'm like, "I want to, but I'll die if I do 2 slow grows at once." Too much painting. And they'd be doing like 500 points a month, like
Jesus.
trying to do both.
Shit, that's not slow.
No.
Well, it's kind of slow.
Compared to what?
If
Compared to
you're
buying a whole army in one hit.
what you do
100
is you
points
set
a
up
year is too fast for me.
you set up a custodes army, easy.
Yeah. Something like that. That could
You do like 10 models and be 2,000 points.
It's alright, I was like, I don't want to start another Legion. Like, it sounds like a bad idea. So I probably wasn't going to do it anyway. Unless I did more Dark Angels. I'll do a second slow go of more Dark Angels.
Well, I heard about this.
15,000 points is enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I bought and painted these like a month ago. As you
Oh, look,
put in your.
Yeah. No, with the room
Well, I
of
mean-
the Primaris Codex, I am interested in building my salamanders again from scratch. I haven't painted green for a while, so I might actually be able to do it. And face it. Yeah.
well, you know, with the new Dark Angels rules coming out in Book 9, they're going to do the full hexagrammaton, so that'd be a great time to get back into Dark Angels again. But knowing them, that'll probably come out in about a year and a half, so, you know.
Oh, need a new cards book. 500 point. Yeah, you heard me. Slow grow. So we talk about what next? Battle reports.
Battle reports.
Battle reports. Well, how did we go?
I was supposed to have my game, but this month has been a month, and so I'm having my game like on Friday.
Yeah,
no, not Friday.
I was meant
Later
to
this week.
No, it's Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Because
That's why I
I'm
said
playing
not Friday.
you.
Yes.
Which is why I have no battle report either, because, life.
And my Sligo got cancelled from Sunday, so that's on for this weekend as well. So that's great. I did actually play a 2,000 point battle though against who did I play against? Oh, Rob with his Admech and my Salamanders.
Cool.
Yeah, it was. It was bloody. I was being smashed, and then I pulled the right tactical cards and got the win. Quite convincing win. So I went, ha ha! Get that up, yeah. So it was good. But they do hurt.
Yes. Top deck. Blinds luck. Blinds luck.
But my Salamanders are very infantry, not very many heavy weapons, which is hard to fight against. What are those? Can I say wheelchair guys? Wheelchair guys and the
Cataphront breaches.
The breaches and the destroyers, and then the dooms crawlers, and I'm just going, this ain't fun.
The tanky leg guys.
Yes, they hurt. But then I did.
They are rough.
I think my captain finally made it into combat, and with his Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, he went splat, 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 splat. So that was good. There you go. Battle report's done. Yay! We are meant to have a ladder for our slow grow, and I should do this because there is someone on top, and if he doesn't hear it later on, he will be quite upset. So on top of our slow grow ladder is Anthony. So he's sitting on 11 points at the moment with 2 wins, a draw and a loss. Oh no, that's not the slow grow. That's the 40k ladder. That's the overall big one. I don't know. I have to go over to Mark to get the slow grow update.
Well, I think everyone's winning except me at this point.
I'm sure as shit not winning. So who's gonna? If we're playing each other, if we're playing each other and neither of us wins, who's gonna win?
A draw.
How's that even work? We're gonna break the universe.
I think what'll happen is we'll get bonus points, and then we both win.
I'm awarding the points to Isabel.
That snap echoed beautifully. That was just brilliant.
So there you go. So that was a quick.
I am inevitable.
Battle report scenario. That was good. Wow. Okay. Twiddle thumbs. What do we do now? You've got the run sheet. Come on, we're professionals here.
Well, the next thing I've got listed is something about awards, but I think that was from episode.
No, we're on to our topic.
We're on to our topic. Oh, we can't be on our topic. We must have a live ad break then.
Yes, let's have a drinks break.
All right.
That means I can get a drink.
Which means I'm going to put you on mute. Ad break. Thanks, folks. Then we'll come back to our topic. Do you even platform, bro? Need your board game fix? What about a new family game to entertain the kids? Head over to Rollers Board Games at rollersboardgames.com or look them up on Facebook. Board games, card games, party games, you name it, we've got it. And if we don't, we'll do our best to get it. Rollers Board Games. Like what you're hearing? So do we.
You scream out in the night.
Who is this, you say?
You speak so silently.
Storyboard concept. Want to hear more?
Anytime that you want.
Go to storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com.
While you're drinking.
Welcome back. We just missed the way to build a cocktail. I hope everyone enjoyed the advert because we are now going to get some rather fancy drinks. Thanks, Isabel. That'd be great. Thanks to the sponsors out there.
Woo!
Thanks to the sponsors out there. We did actually get. I did promise last month I was going to have a gaming night, and I managed to get squeeze one in last Saturday night to try and play Hellboy. We got the Hellboy movies out, the old ones, the better ones. We got the
Family
drinks.
show, folks.
We got the drinks out and stuff, and we had a few games of Dice Throne and LFG. something else, and by the time we got to Hellboy, it was a bit too much alcohol and a bit too much. Can't read this, so we missed out on playing Hellboy and played House on the Haunted Hill or Betrayer on the Haunted Hill, something like that.
There are some games
Sounds like
you can only play drunk.
Yep, it was good. I enjoyed
Sounds
it.
like the D&D game that I hosted last week, where it was at Steve's place, and Steve makes beer.
Yes,
So
he
there was a
does.
lot of beer.
He does.
Those people.
It's straight from the tap.
I used to be one of
Very
those
nice. Right. Well, that's good. Well, that's what we did, and that was exciting. Probably haven't tried. Yeah, that's all I got. So, do you even platform, bro? Do you?
Don't ask me, I'm not a bro.
I
I
platform
can't.
significantly. Rob.
I can only think of one 40k game that was actually pretty much a platformer, and that was Space Marine.
Space Marine. Well, yeah. So this.
I guess you could call that a platformer.
Well, I used the jump
They-
packs a lot,
they
so
had to be on
for me
platforms.
it was a platformer.
It was a platformer. It was like linear, turf. It didn't change at all. Like you just had a standard arena.
Hmm.
So sort of a platform. And the doors did open and shut.
That is true. Yeah, so this month we are looking at the computer game world of Games Workshop games, whether it be on tablet, PC, what are they called? Console, or even the old PlayStations. Which is my first
Or
game.
Amiga
PlayStation
500.
is a console.
I
Why are
know.
they separate?
I know. I wanted to mention it because it's old. That was my first introduction to Warhammer. Was what was it? Shadow of the Horned Rat on PlayStation back in 1995. Yes, I'm younger than I look. No, I'm older than I look. That's the other way. Yeah,
You mean you didn't play Space Hulk on Amiga 500?
I did, but Shadow of the Horned
You
Rat
mean
was
you didn't
95.
play Rogue Trader with dice before you played any computer
Space
games?
Crusade
'Cause
92. You're right. I did
they
play
kind
Amiga.
of didn't hang out then.
No. Sorry, I missed that, Isabel. I was talking over the top of you because I'm a rude.
Yeah, I
prick.
was,
Yes.
I was thinking
no.
the third ed came out
maybe.
in '93, so
Yeah. So yeah, Space Crusade.
My maths
yeah,
is
you're
terrible. I have no idea when Rogue Trader came out.
I'm pretty sure it was '93 because it was about when I was starting that. The Rogue Trader ended in '93 because that's when third edition came out. Yeah, because that's when I started. I literally started just as the box set came out.
right.
I thought it switched to proper 40k back in second.
Yeah, second ed
Yeah.
was the 40k
40K.
box set.
Yeah.
But we experienced, Rogue Trader with the. But that's not electronic. What are you talking about? Move on. You're trying to get me
So
confused.
that was 88. 88 was when I
88.
got Rogue Trader.
Well, 92 was my first game. I forgot about Space Crusade, and Space Hulk was 93. And that was on the Amiga. You are correct.
Good old Space Crusade. Oh man, that was
I
such
actually
a
played
good game.
scared the
Space
crap out
Crusade
of me.
with dice before the computer.
Same.
Yeah.
I got into it from Hero Quest, and it was all just a slippery slope of gateway drugs from then on.
That is right.
Was Talisman the entry point?
Talisman.
Oh, I didn't
no,
actually play Talisman
Talisman
until
for
heaps
ages.
later.
Yeah.
I always heard about it, but never actually got into it. I did play the Talisman video game.
Yes, as did I. And the Horus Heresy version.
Yes, and the Horus Heresy version. Oh my god. I have Relic, the board game they made based on Talisman to be
Yeah.
like a 40k version of Talisman. I have all of the expansions for that. The physical copy.
Michael, is it electronic? Yeah, come on.
So then I guess we come to the
It can
elephant
be.
in the room. Dawn of War.
Dawn of
Oh.
War. Truly, that is the most 40k game, I think. Most people who have played a 40k video game, it's been Dawn of War.
Oh,
I
Dawn of
would
War was
say.
So good.
Yes, I think they never achieved the same greatness they got with Dawn of War 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn of War 1 was just great. And the painting system, and you could do your own shit. It was great. I had like fucking 200 different color schemes for my armies in Dawn of War 1.
And you could
Because it was so much
upload
fun.
your own icons.
Yeah, do your own icons.
Yes,
and
you
banners.
could. It was
yeah.
great.
My only complaint with Dawn of War 1 was the unit cap. You're playing 40k.
Yeah, it's your points limit. Come on.
There's scale there. The computer doesn't have to buy $10,000 worth of models and paint them and everything to get a massive battle going. It can just spit them out. So
But
I
you
was
did
like,
have, like,
why
pictures of it
not?
on a
Why
computer is
can't I
shit.
have a squadron
It's
of
too much on the
10,
screen.
10 Predators and a zillion Terminators and all of that stuff? That was the only thing that got me on that game.
I mean, 800 Baneblades would be great, but the 1 frame a second it would run at would suck.
Yeah, that
Well,
would be pretty
See, the
unfortunate.
thing is, the engine's so old now that it would run properly now.
True.
Boot
You
it
could just
up.
do like an expansion pack.
Yeah, I'm
It's
tempted
like
to
a-
download it and just start it up again.
Yeah.
It's like an
Dawn of
you
War
just
1, bullshit rig edition.
you just have the epic expansion pack, and it just loads in the Titans and unlimits all the unit caps and fill your boots. Maybe bigger map.
Did anyone else play Final Liberation?
I did.
It was the epic 40k video game they made.
Oh, right.
And I am convinced to this day that they shit canned that because it was literally epic as a video game, so you didn't have to buy the models. Because they had all these announced expansions, none of them came out. Not a single one.
Yeah,
It was
I
just
think
orcs and humans and nothing else.
I think I managed to get a hold of the demo from like PC Power Play or something back in the day. But that was the closest I got to ever actually getting the game.
Oh, I pirated the shit out of it. So like I played heaps of it. But yeah, it was a great game. It was so faithful to the tabletop. And I honestly feel like that's what killed it. It was too faithful and Games Workshop didn't like it because it
I thought
replaced the
killed
tabletop.
the Epic killed it because to paint the damn miniatures, you just put a paperclip through their legs and dunked it and hang them on the line to let them dry. So
I don't know, I
did it.
remember painting eyes on my fucking
Yeah,
epic
cool.
command squad. That was dumb.
Jesus. I barely paint eyes on, like, I don't know, posters.
I'm pretty sure I painted the pin.
To the pin, yeah. So we've all played something then, hey? Michael, you were saying you've played over 30 of the Games Workshop games?
Yeah, I think about 36.
Wow.
I've done 34.
I've played a lot of
so,
games.
yeah. It adds
Not
up.
counting expansions,
Not
I think I've
counting
done
expansions.
6.
Yeah, if I included expansions, Dawn of War itself
War
would just make it
itself,
a million games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably at about 15.
You sound older.
There's a lot. There's a lot more of them than you think there is, eh? Because I was like,
Oh,
oh yeah, I've
what's
probably played like a dozen or so, and then I started adding it up,
No, yeah, well, that's it. I was going
and I
through
was like,
the years.
oh dear.
Yeah, 95 was the first one. And then it just, pretty much every year there's a new one just going, oh, wow, okay, that adds up. But now they've added
Yeah.
to the tablet games as well. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've played basically none of those
Oh,
because they're tablet games.
I have. Because,
Some, there's nothing. I don't have anything against tablet games. There's just so many of them. I look at it and go, that doesn't look like a real game. Like,
Yeah,
that's just.
No, some of them are quite good. And I'm going to try
Although
and
Warhammer
rethink of
Quest
one.
was a tablet game, the Warhammer Quest game that they made, that
Yep.
was great. Oh, it was really dumb and limited because they didn't put very many enemy types in, and there was not a lot of stuff in it. You had to pay a lot of DLC for it, but the actual mechanics were really sound. Because I'm also a massive Warhammer Quest aficionado.
No, I haven't figured that out at all. What are you talking about? Well, that's what they did, trying to turn the board games into computer games. They had Blood Bowl, which is another game I'd put many hours into, to the point that
We both did.
nobody wants to play against me anymore. So screw you.
Well,
Hippie.
Yeah.
I played Blood Bowl on my DS
Oh yeah.
and had every single player break their legs whilst moving, and it was at that point that I called bullshit and just.
I'm sorry, have you seen the Richmond Tigers season?
I haven't, but if it's anything like my Blood Bowl game, then I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, let's just say we've got like 8, probably, I think we've got 10 of our top 15 players out at the moment.
Wow.
Not all broken legs, by the way.
No, not all, but a couple.
There's a few.
If you want bullshit RNG, man, you should go back and play some of the super old ones like Shadow of the Horned Rat and Dark Omen. The computer would just mercilessly ruin you in those. And they were like, attrition to your units was permanent. So if you lost a unit, they were dead. You didn't get them back for the next battle. It was a hard fucking game.
Well, I mean, I played. I'm a XCOM veteran from way back.
Yeah, so you know the pain.
I know the pain of a 99% hit chance that never goes off for the next 100 goes.
Yeah.
So
imagine XCOM where you couldn't hire new dudes.
Basically. That reminded me of Blood Bowl.
Well,
Yeah.
we played a lot of the Blood Bowl, like that one.
Yes.
The Blood Bowl.
We had.
Did you play Dungeon Bowl?
Let
The
me
game
finish
that they
my-
made.
Jesus Christ, mate! Oh my God, have I mute
Oh,
this
what would I-
bastard?
oh, but,
Jesus
I've got
Christ!
things to
Thinks
say,
it's his birthday. He gets to talk. Look, just be we're being generous with the mic turned on at the moment. Just calm down. We had a tournament. We actually played campaigns. You were part of that, weren't you, Mark, as well?
No.
No, so
I was in it.
No, you guys tried to get me in, and I quoted my DS experience, and then you just were like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. We played a lot.
We certainly did, and I didn't get any better.
Well, good. I'm glad we got that sorted out.
I did beat you a couple of times. I don't think I managed to beat Trent at all, but that is another person who would still play you.
Yes, I think Dave decided, nah, that's it, and packed up his shit and went home. We played, I think, about 3 or 4 seasons of it. Phil joined with his Camry, so there was a few of us.
Yeah.
We played a lot, and it was fun.
I find that often happens with games like Blood Bowl. Like, you get new people in, the old people thrash them, and the new people end up kind of going, you know what?
No.
We've had that problem with Necromunda, running Necromunda campaigns here in Canberra.
Okay.
Like, there was a rolling one at 3D6. There was a couple of campaigns. I think I won the first 2, almost undefeated, and then half the players decided they didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. But, yes, what were we talking about? Dungeon Bolt. Yes, I played, but nobody else did, and I went, oh, but...
It was so weird.
I kept getting defeated in Blood Bowl. I decided I didn't want to buy and pay for further defeats.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even new. I was just shit at it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, we put a lot of hours into that. Dungeon Bowl was good. What else? Dawn of War. Yeah. We played a couple of games of that, I believe.
Did anyone else play Age of Reckoning? Warhammer Online?
Oh, yes. I loved it.
I also loved it. I was super cut.
What
Apparently
happened?
there's still...
Tell me the story.
Well, they when the game came out, they were way overzealous with what they were going to release. So they cut back 3/4 of the in-game content that we will launch. And...
Hi, everyone. How you going?
How's that
Not too
wood
bad.
going that you're trying to put together back there, Craig?
That was brilliant. I'm just trying to reach back and slowly pick up this. That's all I was trying to do. It's upside down.
I got one of those.
Yep.
He's trying not to cry.
No, it didn't kill anything.
Oh.
Shit.
I almost wish I could rewind and go back and watch that again.
But yeah, like they
Nothing to
cut
see here.
3/4 of the endgame content just before it got released, and I don't think the game ever really recovered from that. Like, a lot of
No.
people were super mad,
It was
and there wasn't to do at max level,
I found
and
it was a lot of fun.
there just wasn't enough players. It
Yeah.
was great fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was one of the few games I've actually enjoyed the PvP in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
And
was good because it wasn't a world PvP. It was a sort of arena, wasn't it? From my memory. You
Yeah,
had to
well,
go
that was kind of
certain
both.
area. Yeah.
But it was directed at those, like, this is the PvP area.
Yeah.
You could PvP outside it, but this was the specific war zone area for it.
I
And
got
it was
to
really
combo.
cool. Sorry?
And I got to be a gobbo. Come on, who doesn't want to be a gobbo?
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, like the player base, there wasn't enough
There wasn't
players.
enough. No, that's what killed it.
I started playing, and then due to a bunch of shit that happened, missed a fortnight, and then I kind of ended up behind the baseline of where everyone else was, and suddenly there was no one else questing with me.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough players.
Yeah, that's what I got to. I said, okay, I need to party up with... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I need to party up to do this world quest. Oh, I can't.
Yeah. So it was disappointing because I thought it was a great game. It just needed more people.
It was a really good game. It just didn't have enough players. And I think a lot of it was because people got really shitty that they talked it up. And then, like, because literally they were like, yeah, you know, there'll be these 4 racial capitals and there'll be all this different stuff. And each campaign will have, like, pushing between the capitals. And then they cut out all of it except for the one pair of capitals.
Yes.
And that was it.
Yes.
So there wasn't end game content, really.
And
once
then
you got
had
leveled.
The other massive online they decided to bring out, the Eternal Crusade.
Eternal Crusade.
When they first announced that, I was very excited. It said MMO of 40k. How cool is that? I could be a marine or a guard and work my way up and go adventuring and stuff like that. Oh, it's just a deathmatch game.
Yeah. Yeah. That, they really swerved. They were like, oh yeah, it's going to be an MMO. And then they were like, oh, well, we didn't mean MMO. We meant online game. It'll be multiplayer and massive and online, but not an MMO.
Yeah, so that was really disappointing. I was so excited. I thought, because the thing at all the Rift games we had when we were trying to go through the ranks back then, I thought, if we could do this in 40k as an MMO, I am in. And
I always wanted to get into that, and I picked up one of those founders packs for it.
Yeah, same.
It just wasn't there.
No, played it for a couple of times, but
but
not really.
Wasn't that whole thing in development hell for ages?
Yeah.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
Like it was in, and they early accessed it really early.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people came in and were like, "Ugh, this is really unfinished," and then wandered off. And then if you try and go in there now, it's like you've got all these people who've been doing it the whole time who'll just trash you, and you don't know how to play. So it's really hard to get into.
I haven't even looked at going back into that. I wish... It's such a rich universe. Even if they just took the Rogue Trader book and just based it off that, I'd be... What the hell was that noise?
The problem that you have is that, a lot of them don't want to do that kind of thing because they can't microtransaction you to death.
Yeah.
But what they did do, there have been some shocker games out there, absolutely. We've all tried them, haven't we? I'm just trying to think of one apart from Eternal Crusade off the top of my head. What else sucked?
Dawn of War 2?
Isn't there like a...
Nah, see,
I
Dawn
enjoyed
of War 2 was too much of separation from where Dawn of War 1 was. What I did like about
it wasn't an
number 2,
RTS really.
No,
it didn't have that base building, and that really was a step back.
What I did enjoy of it though is the Last Stand. The amount of hours I put into Last Stand.
The multiplayer mode.
Excellent.
That was great fun.
Oh, the hours I put into that. The hours you put into that, Isabel, and Mark, and everyone here.
Yep.
We're all suckers for it.
It was a good game. It was just really entertaining.
Yep.
It was basically a team tower defense.
That's it. 3 people enter. Hopefully we're still standing by round 20.
Yes.
Didn't happen as often as we'd like to say we did, but we were there at times. We did complete it at times.
I made it a few times.
Ogrins, they made Ogrins great.
Yes.
Let's just put that out there.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
That was a lot of fun. So there's a win. So Dawn of War 2, the game, I enjoyed it. Just wasn't the same. It should have been called something different, basically. But Last Stand was awesome. And then they brought out Dawn of War 3, hedging their bets.
Was it Dawn of War 2 that had the campaign where you had like the group of Marines and they could either go really pure or really chaotic and you got kinds of weird abilities? That was Dawn of War 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of the expansion packs?
There's
because
like Chaos Rising or something?
Yeah, Chaos Rising. Because the original one was a Tyrannid campaign and you got to watch the spores and stuff come in if you fucked up and whatnot.
Yeah, because that campaign where you kind of played through, and it was very kind of, it wasn't a proper RTS. It was like, you pick these units, but the units were they had really good character, and in the one where they got corrupted or didn't, I really enjoyed that expansion for Dawn of War 2. That was probably my favourite part of Dawn of War 2.
The other part
other
I
than
didn't
Last Stand
mind
mode.
was was you could play the campaign 2-player co-op.
That was cool.
Yeah, so
But my computer was too shit to run it.
Yeah, well,
I kept trying and it kept crashing.
that's the chaos.
I didn't. It's true. I didn't also like it was quite erratic the way that the cover was done. So like you'd put your squad in cover and then it'd just decide, no, you're not quite in cover enough, even though I said you were.
You were a
and
yellow
now you
dot,
did.
not a green dot. Yeah.
Oh god, it was so annoying.
But we all love Last Dance, so that was successful. And then they brought out Dawn of War 3.
I don't
Which
mind
I
Dawn of War
enjoyed,
3.
but never got super into it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm
Same.
much the same.
Yeah.
The more I read about it, the less I wanted it, and it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to bother.
There you go, kids. There's a good example. Don't learn to read.
You want a
Sage
bad
advice.
game? You want a bad game? Fire Warrior.
Oh,
game was so
yes!
bad that it
THQ's first
That
attempt
game
on
was so
PlayStation.
bad that it negatively affected 40k. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, well, they started off with Tau. That was not
There
the
was-
smart move. The
there was
hitboxes
one-
were so bad. It was brilliant.
There was one good thing about it. I remember playing it, and the first time I saw a Space Marine coming at me with like a chainsword, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
I loved the idea of we picked non-Marines and non-humans so we could explore the way a non-human race would encounter humans and be like, holy shit, these guys are nuts and evil.
Yes.
I liked that idea.
So did I.
But
when
they did not execute that well.
When they went, my tower weapon
yeah.
is really crappy, I'll pick up the las gun instead, because that works better. I'm like, ah!
Yeah. But like the biggest reason I hate it was because
Those
they went in that game. They went, oh yeah, let's give the individual Tau guy a rail rifle, and that was so popular. They then made a model for 40k and changed the 40k rules to let you have on foot rail rifles.
Nice.
And when they did that, they were bullshit overpowered, and it kind of fucked up the meta. So.
Yeah, so I remember I was still working at the game
yeah.
shop when that came out, and we tried it, and we went, well, that was that.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened.
But there is another one that they did really well, Space Marine.
Yes.
I thought
I love
that
Space
was awesome.
Space Marine was good. It was really just fun.
Yeah.
And like they really, really liked the way they kind of had that visceral Space Marine just fucking shit up kind of combat.
Yes. The death strikes and stuff like that. Yeah, they were pleasant.
Like the Marine just getting in there, just ruining people.
Yeah.
It really captured what they call in the 30k books transhuman dread. Because a Marine will just roll into you inhumanly fast and just break you to pieces with their bare hands.
It was.
And it really
fun.
felt like that in Space Marine. It was great.
It was good. And yep.
Realistically, they could have done like a zillion expansion packs to that thing too.
Just
And
a new campaign,
I think everyone would have just bought them.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't. Why didn't they?
Walker's saying 2Babe will never get a Space Marine 2. I'm just wondering, does he know something that we don't?
Well, I don't know anything, so I dare
It's
say.
probably been done by THQ and they're bankrupt, but
Yeah,
that would be
the
it.
company died.
That'd be it. They're going to wait a certain amount
Okay,
of time.
well, it doesn't mean that GW doesn't have... Oh, I suppose
wait
they
for
own
the
the rights to the
license.
code.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just looked at the chat. Yeah, Soccer was reminding us about how in one of the it was in Dawn of War where they had that Khorne sorcerer lord. That was so fucking dumb.
Corn loves magic.
The
Yeah,
Blood
so-
Raven chief librarian who worshipped Khorne because that makes sense. What?
So just looking at the actual Space Marine shop front on Steam, it was done by Relic, and those guys are dead and
Yeah.
buried.
That's unfortunate because that was good. Even this in the multiplayer was awesome too. That was one with the. Oh, now I'm getting mixed up. I mean, there was a PvP. Two teams basically won, like a Counter-Strike server, and they released someone could be a dreadnought in there. That sucked because that hurt. But wasn't that also the one where you could play the co-op? There was 4 of us in one group, and we went through certain stages. You had to knock over stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and that was one story done. Or am I thinking of a different game?
I don't know, because I didn't play that multiplayer.
I'm sure. That
Which
was
one?
that Space
Which
Marine?
one was that?
I seem to recall.
Space Marine... I only remember the multiplayer deathmatch. Or team
Are
deathmatch.
you thinking?
Hang on, no, you're right. There was, and you had like thousands of orcs
Yeah,
coming
just
at you.
coming
and
at
you
you.
were
It was like
working
their
as a
version
team.
of Last Stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Left 4 Dead Marine version.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like the co-op mode in Space Marine.
yeah, that's what we're talking about. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. So, yeah, Space Marine was good. I really enjoyed that one. Warhammer Online, yep, loved it. Blood Bowl, loved it. Blood Bowl 2, I really
Total
enjoyed
War
it.
Warhammer.
Tell me more, because I keep looking at it and go, I want to play, but I never really got into the Total War series.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, literally, when I first saw freaking Total War Shogun, back when that game first came out, I was like,
Yeah.
shit, they need to make a Warhammer version of this. And Total War Warhammer came out, and I went nuts. I've dropped so many fucking hours in that game. I really like it.
So it's alright.
Because, yeah, it's all right. Like, the previous Total War games, you know, they're all humans because it's fucking Total War. And so all of the empires are very similar with maybe some slight, like, oh, you know, these guys have, like, camel archers or some shit. But because it's Warhammer, it's like, oh, you know, you've got the humans, you've got the empires, and all of the different empire provinces are basically the same. But then you've got Bretonia, who are totally different. And then you've got, you know, the vampire counts, who are totally different. And the orcs, who are totally different. And the dwarves, who are totally different. And it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was very interested in it, but I've never, like, I moved away from Warhammer Fantasy, like, eons ago, and I just never had any interest to go back. Like, if it was a 40k one...
Total War.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
I just
Probably,
that type of game was too much thinking, and I think at that point in time, I didn't have time to think.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to think, you can just turn all the difficulty settings down to 0 and just run around being Carl France hitting people with steam tanks, you know.
Fair enough. I will go
But
purchase it now.
I think it especially made me like appreciate it because it came out after AOS. So
Yes.
it was here you can go back to the old Warhammer world and fuck around in that as a sandbox, which was great.
Yes.
And then the second one came out, which was even better. And so yeah, I really liked it.
That's good. I liked Vermintide.
I enjoyed what I've played, but I haven't played much of it.
Okay, so if
it's,
anyone doesn't know, but they know what Left 4 Dead
multiplayer.
is. If anyone knows what Left 4 Dead is, it's that set in the Warhammer world. And you've got Skaven coming at you, and you have a big Warhammer, or some axes, or a bow, and it's that type of game. And I really enjoyed it, yeah. I never finished the last mission on the number 1, because I was at that stage, took a break, come back, and everyone already done it. I went, no! Take me with you! So that was the only problem I had with that game, just trying to find people for that end game side. And I go, no, come on! But I really enjoyed it. And I jumped on number 2 the other day on the Xbox One because no cost. I went, this is a prettier version. Ooh, sounds like it's got a bit more of a storyline to it. Oh, this is alright. So I've just got to find people to play with.
So did anybody check out Space Hulk Deathwing?
No, how's that?
It's awesome.
I have it.
It's awesome.
I think I've done the tutorial.
Squad
and
of 4 Terminators going through a Space Hulk, shooting up nids and everything. It's really good. Don't play the single player. It is the AI for your other comrades is
terrible.
Yeah.
That's standard for Space
the
Hulk games.
diplomatic way of putting it.
First Space Hulk game was exactly the same.
Yes.
You'd send your troops off to one side. You say, "You take that side. I'll take this side."
Yep.
Oh, they're all dead.
Yep.
Oh, I'm dead too.
Yeah.
I always
That's how
felt
it
like in the original, I always remember that there basically was no companion AI. You had to swap back to them and fucking manually do it whenever
And
they
when
got
you
attacked.
swap back, that's when
'Cause
you found
otherwise
the
they
gene
were
still in your
fucked.
face. There's nothing better when you turn to it. Oh, go this way, and it just jumped in your face, and you'd be going, "Oh my god, you son of a bitch!"
However, if you've ever wanted to play a first-person shooter where you can be a Terminator with an assault cannon,
Yes.
that's
So I
the
prefer
game to
the
do it.
heavy
It
flamer,
is
so.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the heavy
Yeah.
flamer in there. They've got the plasma cannon, you don't actually get plasma cannons and Terminators, which was weird. But anyway,
No, you can't
I
have
wasn't
them
going
now.
to say no.
Dark Angel's Deathwing, dude.
So
Sack up. Become a real chapter. Play Dark Angel.
No, I
Well-
want to be Imperium.
well, maybe, but yeah. Now I've just noticed, looking through my Steam list, they've actually done an enhanced edition, and I have
Yes.
no idea what they've enhanced. But
Isabel, you're frozen. You still there? Nope.
Still here.
There you
Hang
go.
on.
Uh,
Am I frozen again?
there's some,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're back.
we can
Feels
hear
like-
you.
It was a good power stance you were frozen in,
Okay.
though. It was good. Sorry, Mark. I just noticed. Trying to get someone's.
So yeah, I've just noticed. Yeah, there's an enhanced edition which apparently they gave me for free.
Attack Chicken
Um,
said they've enhanced it by adding more bugs.
Well, that does sound about par for the course. So yeah, a
But it's
streaming session, really?
it's it is interesting the amount of different types of platforms in the games they're bringing. Like the tabletop board game Talisman, the third-person first shooter of Fire Warrior or Space Marine. Your choice, which is better? MMOs.
There is no choice about which is better. There is the correct answer and the incorrect answer.
Yes. I mean, they brought out tower games. What is it called? Storm of Vengeance, I think it is. I played that. That was not bad for a tower sort of game. Did anyone play? Oh, Battlefield Gothic. Mark and I, we played that.
I played
Yeah.
the tutorial and was like, that's a cool game. I should play more of that, and then got distracted.
Oh, well, I would
Yeah.
do one step more. I bought it. This is a cool game. And I should have played more of that.
I kind of did the same thing. Only I played it
Oh, hello.
and then went, I'm really bad at this.
Looks like,
like-
Isabel has
like-
dropped out because Michael is all over the screen. It's your birthday.
That is
it's
a
your
lot
birthday.
of that is a lot of me.
That is your birthday right there, mate.
We all know who the real star is.
Ta-da! So look into my eyes. Sorry, Battlefield Gothic. Battlefleet, not Battlefield.
Yeah, I played it and then I realised I am desperately terrible at that game.
Yeah, we tried to play
Um,
co-op, didn't we? We realised we were shit.
Yeah, like really bad. And I just ended up dropping it, and I just had no desire to go back to it because literally everything in that game to me was Swahili, which
I did
is
think
weird because
you speak
normally
Swahili.
that kind of game I'm like, yeah, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I did think the learning curve on that was pretty steep.
Yeah, I got to the end of the tutorial and I felt like I didn't really know how to play the game properly.
Yeah, we did that for the first 3 missions, but did we win? I don't know. Did we win?
I know the first couple of multi ones that we played.
Yeah.
We were like,
We got
yeah,
s-
we got this.
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
like one puny ship, and then we'd just both get demolished. And I was like, how the hell did that happen?
Oh, well, they use the Force, obviously. They got card games out there. The one game I do play on the platform on my tablet is Warhammer Combat Cards with 40k version. It's just
See, the problem is I still have my old original like combat cards from back in the day.
oh wow.
So I'm like, why would I pay to play it on a phone
Oh, I
or
don't-
tablet?
It's free.
So you get opponents.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's free, and I don't pay for any tablet game. Good God, no. If
Yeah,
it's
but I'm
free,
sure I
play-
could just
like
go
Free
on-
Blade, because it's free.
I could probably just
Chainsaw
take
Warrior is a card game.
Jolt.
It is. And apparently they're re-releasing it.
Yeah, kind of tangentially, it's 40k. It's
Yes.
a Games Workshop game,
Games
but it's
Workshop
not
game, yeah.
actually set in 40k. It's goofy.
And they're re-releasing it apparently.
Yeah, I've got the new version. It's not actually set in 40k. It's am I dropping out?
You've
A
definitely
little
frozen,
bit.
but I can hear you. But it could be because you're right up.
Oh, okay.
Right on the big screen.
Could be.
What is that? Thanks, Iz.
It's a camera.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yay!
Isabella's back.
Yay!
Thank
I
God.
would stop tormenting them with my
Yeah,
giant head.
It was a giant head.
That was the reason I couldn't see the Twitch, because my computer's Wi-Fi just decided to end it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
It
worth
had
it.
enough.
So we were talking about what were we talking about? Oh,
The
Chainsaw.
card game
Card
video
game
games,
version, yeah.
like Chainsaw Warrior and stuff.
But what about RPG ones? Did anyone play Eisenhorn Xenos?
No, although I
No.
intended to, because it sounded interesting, and I didn't realize it had come out.
Yeah, it's been out for a while. It was really good. It was, you had to choose your decisions making. It was decision making skills mixed with a bit of combat, mixed with free, but there's a bit of railway part to it as well. But the
Bit of visual
storyline,
novel with added combat.
that was pretty much it. Yeah, perfect. You say that again because I can't use words.
A visual novel with added combat.
Look at that. It was brilliant. If I should have moved my mouth so it looked like I said it. I really enjoyed it. And the only reason I stopped it, because there was a bug and I couldn't get past it. And unless I had to reset the game and start from scratch, I went, no.
Yeah, I hate this.
Yeah.
But that game was just... And then, again, as another one, why didn't they bring out an expansion for that? Because it's Eisenhorn. It's not like he did one thing and that's it.
Yeah, he did a bunch of shit.
Yeah. He would have killed those bugs. Come on.
Another game?
Well, maybe he
Inquisitor
did.
Martyr.
Inquisitor
A
Martyr,
bunch
yeah.
of us played.
That was the Inquisitor version of Diablo.
Yeah, 40k Diablo. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool, but they had issues with the way they programmed difficulty, I felt.
Yeah, I thought it just became a button masher. Sort of.
Well, and also, it was like, you couldn't pick a spec. You'd be like, oh, this is the mission that my spec cannot physically do. Okay, I will totally rebuild my character for this one mission, and then swap back afterwards.
Yeah. That was disappointing. I
dumb.
thought... Well, I was actually hesitant about it because they did say it was Diablo-style 40k. I went, it's Diablo. Well, give it a go because everyone else decided to jump on. So, yep, cool.
Yeah, well, I was about to jump onto it because it dropped when I had absolutely no money, and I was like, "Cool, I'll get it when payday comes around." And all you guys got it, and within like 2 weeks, users had all turned around and started ragging on it and everything like that, and then all the reviews and everything, and by the time I got to payday, I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
I like the fact you're still going, maybe.
I have a feeling that I might have actually bought it during that time, and I skipped a couple of Monday nights because I was away or something after I bought it, and I came back and no one was playing it. And I honestly never even started the game.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't-
about
It wasn't horrible.
75% of my Steam games.
Yeah, Steam games, yeah. It wasn't horrible.
I don't have the money for that
It just
sort
fell
of thing.
flat, I think. Well, it's actually just Martyr feel very flat. Yeah, it's just that it fell flat, the expectations. Like, if you're going to do Diablo sort of style, make it an open world, not I must go this way, I must go this way.
I'll be curious to see how Chaos Bane works out.
Yeah.
I got into the beta and I went to play it and I missed the boat.
Oh.
So I own it, but I missed the beta, so I haven't played it yet.
What else is worth talking about? In the...
Did anyone play Gladius, the 4X 40k game they made?
Did you?
Yeah.
No.
It's Civilization for 40k, right? 40k for Civilization.
Yeah.
The other way around?
It sounds great, but like, it's not got a lot of content.
Oh,
Really?
makes me
Oh,
sad.
really? It's the situation.
There's like 3 or 4 races, so it's not super replayable. You know?
Again, there could be expansions and stuff because there's more than one.
They could
race.
be.
You get your own
It's like, from what I've read, it's like, yeah, the game really takes off in multiplayer, but, playing a fucking multiplayer 4X game, who's got time for that?
Isabel and I play Civ 6.
Yeah, one turn a week.
yeah.
So I'm just looking
Well, look,
at
I
it.
used to play like Civ 3 by email, but like, jeez.
You know how much that game is these days? Like, on a 20% discount, it's still $80.
Well, yeah, that's why I still have not purchased it. But I will. I think if they make it a price that I think it's worth, I will probably pick it up.
There's a few DLCs for it.
I think they've brought out Tyranids now, haven't they?
Yeah, there's Tyranids, and there was Lord of Skulls.
Yeah, that adds the Lord of Skulls unit.
And the rest of the DLC is literally just wallpapers and soundtrack and whatever the reinforcement pack is.
But yeah, they had to add Tyranids as a DLC that was just a single race. It's like there isn't enough content in it. The game itself is mechanically sound. There's just not enough in it.
Yeah, because like all the reviews and everything are like Steam is glowing for it.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but I want more races. It's fucking 40k. I want the 40k races.
Come on.
You know?
Yeah, I also thought it was weird as human and then space race. Come on. Where am I? Where's all the others? Come on. Dawn of War did not have Necrons, Tyranids, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Or did it?
Some of them.
Two did.
No,
Yeah, two had them.
Number one, there is
didn't.
a mod you can download, and I have played it, and it was actually pretty good. They modified it so that you could play against Tyranids in Dawn of War 1. It was fun.
I got that too.
Yeah. That was all. Oh, was Dawn of War 2 the one they got rid of the blood for us? No, that was Left 4 Dead. No, that's right. There was a gore pack you could put on. So when you hit someone, it was very messy.
Yeah, they did that. I know they did that for Dawn of War 1. I don't know if... maybe they did for 2 as well.
2, yeah. I feel like we should be playing Dawn of War where we did all this, by the way.
Probably.
And just stream us playing. People loved us.
I don't know. They'd probably
not a
be
terrible
yelling
thing,
at
to be
their
honest.
monitor going, "You idiot, why aren't you playing this game properly?"
Why are you so shit at this game? Don't you know
Because we
you
haven't
should be
played
doing
it in
this?
about 5 years.
I can give you...
Why aren't you micromanaging your peasants correctly?
I can give you 2.1 reasons. It's kind of this red can here.
Here we go. Yeah, so Dawn of War 2 got the ridiculously
My third
bloody
one of
blood
these.
pack.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So when you did it, if you had a big swarm army coming at you, and it was just red all over the screen again. I'm not sure what happened.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it used to get out. I actually had to turn it off because I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, it got to that point. Yeah. Oh,
It was just
Attack Chicken's happy. He's got
searching out.
Dawn of War. Well done. Everyone's got Dawn of War and knows what 40k is, alright?
Well, yeah, I think as we were saying, if there's one game like video game that a 40k fan has played, it's probably Dawn of War.
Yes. Oh, have you played Dark Nexus Arena?
No, what on earth is that?
Well, Dark Nexus Arena. Alright, so the Dota and League of Legends, those types of games, what are they called?
It's a MOBA.
It is a MOBA, yeah. Dark Nexus was a MOBA for 40k. I say was, because after the beta,
Because it died a
it got
horrible
canned.
death.
It didn't even get released. After the beta, it got canned.
Wow.
Well, pretty much
Yeah.
Dawn of War 3 was their MOBA type thing as well.
Yeah, they tried to do that. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't like it. So for
Yeah,
me,
I don't think many people did.
Dawn of War 1 for the campaign, for the multiplayer, for Left 4 Dead, what am I talking about? Last Stand, Dawn of War 2, absolutely. I'm trying to think of a redeeming feature for Dawn of War 3. Oh, the cutscenes are pretty cool.
Dawn of War
That's
3,
a
Titans.
Titans. Oh, yes! Yes! That
Nice.
was nice.
Redeemable thing for Dawn of War 3. It's really straightforward. Titans.
Yeah, you can have the big knights coming down and the big little wraith.
We all know how much I love knights.
Yes. He's taking screenshots of them and put them around his room.
Is that not normal?
Knights are great.
Whatever makes you happy.
That's why you get the Porphyrion, because you can get a full centerfold with it.
I hate those staple marks.
You're just like, ooh, baby, check out that cannon. Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Everybody wants a big cannon.
It's cold, alright. So, folks, we've been talking for a while. What else we got to talk about, or should we sign off?
Are there any other games that we haven't talked about?
Well, there's a few of them. Blood Bowl,
There are a lot of
Garage,
them.
Dungeon Bowl.
Yeah, I looked at the
Banner
Wikipedia.
was
There are
weird.
literally hundreds.
Yeah.
There's a heap of them.
Because of
There was
just
some.
not that much
You guys-
gamer apparently.
Mordheim.
Mordheim!
not.
I
Mordheim game.
loved Mordheim! Nobody was playing! I was so upset. I said, come join me with Mordheim. It's awesome! Because it felt
I
like
think
it
the
was
new
the closest game I felt to the actual tabletop game. It was that turn-based.
It bugged me because they changed the rules, but it was still very
was
turn-based,
close.
and they kept
Yeah.
a lot of the essence there.
Yeah. It was turn-based. You've got your experience, your characters will level up and stuff. I thought it was fantastic.
And they included that vibe of getting fucked by the RNG when your Warband members would die and stuff.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. You had to bring
Although,
up that.
Aren't the same guys making the Necromunda video game?
Yes,
Or were
they are.
making a Necromunda video
They
game?
are. I did remember that. I do remember that. Red Nut, hey? Hey!
I will
I-
play a Necromunda video game when it's coming. When's it coming out? I demand to know.
Wednesday.
In the future.
Yeah,
Last I looked, there wasn't even a release date.
Oh, Attack Chick, if you don't know what Necromunda is, you should look it up. Or talk to Michael.
How is it possible to not know what Necromunda
Oh,
is?
look at him!
Necro boobies.
Keyboard warrior.
Necroboobies. Do-do-do. The Necromunda, it's, hive gang warfare in 40k.
So humans with crappy guns trying to fight it out.
Yes, humans just pig stickering
That's
each
exactly
other.
right.
It's great.
It's
Well-
it's a 40k version where the Imperial Guard are the ultimate in enemy. They're the best you can
Yeah.
possibly
Yes.
face, and they're almost impossible.
Their
to beat.
armors actually work.
Yeah, I ran a campaign when I was in high school, and the final boss was you've got to fight a platoon of Imperial Guard because they're holding the spaceport, and the gangs got fucking wrecked by guardsmen.
Why am I laughing? I played Guardsman. Fuck you.
I play guardsmen too, and they're shit, and I know it.
So, according to the Necromunda Underhive Wars website, it is coming in 2019.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
that's this year.
Yeah, and considering it's listed for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, that would suggest that it probably won't drag on until the next generation of consoles comes in a couple of years.
Well, I'd be surprised if it's going to be late this year because they announced it forever ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually completely forgotten about it until you mentioned Mordheim.
Well, I think it's one
That's
of...
okay.
yeah.
I'd completely forgotten about it till I mentioned Bornheim as well. I was
Does
like,
anyone
wait,
who
isn't it
know who's making it?
the same guys who did
Uh,
Mordheim. I remember it's one of the
folks.
first posts we put on
Hey.
the RLG 40k web Facebook page. Plug.
What's
Yeah.
Facebook?
I'm seeing Rogue
Facebook.
Factor and Focus Home Interactive on the
Yeah, Focus Interactive does
site
Dawn of
here.
War. Focus Interactive are part of the Dawn of War crew.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Rogue Factor are the dev. Focus are a publisher.
Rogue Factor.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds like
If
a
you click on
liberal
that-
slogan.
MySpace, but
If
better.
you click on them, it goes to if you click on them on Steam, it goes to
Vote for
Cyanide.
us because of the Rogue
Cyanide,
Factor.
that's Blood Bowl.
Maybe they're part of Cyanide. Rogue Factor. That's weird.
It's in
Because I
the
clicked on the
Steam
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 keeps
thing
track of
saying
these
who's the developer.
game devs these days. They're all fucking contractors anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
they are the guys who did
And it's not their
Mordheim,
fault.
so
It's just that developers don't hire full-time staff anymore.
Yeah, it's all about crunch and hiring contractors and burning through them and then hiring new ones.
well, as I
Exactly.
said, Rogue Factor did Mordheim, which
Yeah.
I'm told is excellent. So
We just told you it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like
If-
they're part of Cyanide,
That's
Hmm.
good. I think it'd be awesome, and I
'Cause
cannot
it-
wait for that one.
who were the guys who did Blood Bowl and all that stuff.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Blood Bowl. I thought they kept it pretty true
And,
to the
and the new
board game.
Space Hulk games.
Yeah, I think they're doing well with converting the board game to electronic. Some rules are a little different, but they keep that essence, as you said, which is good.
But yeah, there's still that element of you've got to pay attention because some of them are just garbage. Like there was a couple of years there where they just gave the license to anybody, and you ended up with bullshit like that. What was it? Drop Pod Assault game that came out.
I played that.
That game was rubbish.
I forgot about that.
That game.
Oh.
That wasn't even really a game. Like that was literally they reskinned their previous game. They just changed the skins and re-released their last game as a 40k game.
Yeah, I remember playing that.
Like, there's been some
move on.
shitty versions.
I'll just move on with that one. Yeah. Storm Avengers talked about. What else? I'm just looking at what else I played. Yeah, there we go. Dropship. I got it down there. It's written down. That was terrible. One for a tablet that is free. Warhammer 40k Space Wolf. That was pretty good. Turn-based, tactical. If you do want a tablet.
I didn't play that one. I heard that the Free Blade was pretty cool as well.
Free Blade was pretty. It was.
I'm looking them up right now on my phone. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, you were on a rail for Free Blade, but you still had to aim and stuff. So the movement was looked after. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Just
what, the Ultramarine movie? Is that what you're talking about? Attack Chicken?
Oh, I love the Ultramarine movie, even if it is the blue.
The Ultramarine movie was interesting.
No, it was awesome because it was the only one out there.
I own like a collector's edition of that movie, but the production values were not great.
But the names I got for the actors, I thought, well, shit, how did you pull that off?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're looking at the new animated Blood Angel ones. They look like they finally got the script and done the reading, so yeah. Could be happy. What was the one like? Plants vs Zombies. That was Storm of Vengeance. I didn't mind that one.
Okay, so they did like a 40k version of Plants vs Zombies.
Yep.
Of course they did. Like the mobile games are pretty like follow the leader garbage. There's a lot of them like that.
Yeah. As I said, they've covered every genre they can possibly get, except for they haven't got a dating app yet.
Just you wait, man. Just you wait. It'll be like 40k, love blooms on the battlefield, and they'll embrace that meme to the full extent, and it'll just be all about Vindicare assassins banging Farseers. Shit's gonna go off the hook.
I want to see this.
I'm just waiting for. I'm just waiting for the Kugath best girl, memes.
As long as it's lesbian action, I'm in. Farseers and Vindicare assassins, I'm totally there.
Yeah. She's the one that changes shape, isn't it? The Eversor? No, that's the other one.
No, that's the Calidus.
Calidus, yeah.
I'll take Calidus.
Yeah, just had two Calidus.
He was the skull.
Yeah, the Eversor. I was just going to make a joke about the Eversor and scissoring. But
I remember I used to bring out my Eversor, I think it was 4th ed. I used to bring out my Eversor assassin on the battlefield and everyone would shit their pants.
Yeah, because the Eversor was just a fucking monster.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd bring out any of the assassins in 4th ed and your opponent would shit their pants.
You bring out Calexis, go. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah. Well, like, the first tournament I ever went in, I literally won because I had a Vindicare and no one else had an assassin. Yeah. You know? That was like 2nd ed or something dumb.
There's a first person
But it was just like, assassins are bullshit. Woo!
You turn that game Sniper into a Vindicare game. Come on. If they're going to copy... There's a lot of things.
Well, just can
you imagine
into a
like a Left 4 Dead game, multiplayer Left 4 Dead game, but it was the assassins. So you're a Vindicare, you're an Eversor, you're a Calidus. That'd be great. I'd enjoy it.
What I've always wanted is like the modern XCOM. I've wanted a total conversion of that to Necromunda. I think that'd be great.
I agree.
Like mechanically, that game would work for a Necromunda game. Maybe
or
not
even just something like Kill Team, even.
Well, Kill Team would work. Yeah.
But like cover and all that stuff, I think that'd work.
Oh, Mechanicus!
I'm
Did
curious
anyone try Mechanicus? Isn't that the latest one? What happened there?
I know there was a Mechanicus game coming, but I can't remember anything about it.
Now, I'm sure of it. Oh, like fun, you will.
Somebody threw a spanner in the Mechanicus?
Well, advertise it's destructive world and keep talking while I look.
I reckon my favourite video games for 40k, a lot of the time are the ones that are the most faithful. Like, you got Hero Quest and Space Crusade
telling
to
us
go
that
way back.
Mechanicus is out already.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
The computer game,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was keeping an eye on it.
Do you just build machines and kill things?
No.
Because that would be cool.
Mechanicus 9 to 5. You just sit there building fucking rhinos all
Well,
day.
why not? That's the next one, isn't it? They've got the
And
Doctor
yeah.
Surge.
It's Gearhead Garage, the video game, but
Or-
for
That's
K.
what I'm talking about.
or it's
I'm
like
talking about
Forge
you
World
pimp out your
Manager.
rhino.
Yeah,
to
Forge
take
World
on
Manager.
everything.
That's it. You got Farm Manager, you have Forge World Manager. I love it.
And you have to keep producing ammo boxes and titans and things, and you have limited factory space.
And then they'll come out with, Warhammer 40,000 Agri World, which will be Stardew Valley, but 40k.
Yeah,
Until the spores start dropping.
yeah.
Yeah. And then it turns
Well-
into, like, some kind of time strategy.
Well, if you generate enough food, then eventually they'll give you like garrisons of troops and stuff to fend off the Xenos.
Sorry. I just remembered another one they brought
Yeah,
out.
Regicide.
Regicide.
That was the chess game.
That was the chess. Battle chess
It
for
was
40k.
chess. Battle
Yeah,
chess for 40K.
Regicide.
Yeah.
I've got that. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but I got through about, I don't know, half a dozen of the mission map thingies they do for it, and then I kind of fell off the wagon and never got back on. But it was pretty cool.
Did you know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games they cancelled after production?
Well,
Gorka
Warhammer Online
Morka
got
was one of them.
cancelled first
Gorka
time.
Morka was one of them. Gorka Morka
Oh.
action.
I-
That would have been fun. There you go. I can't.
Gorkamorka would be a great driving game.
Could you imagine
Yes.
like
what?
Carmageddon,
but
Gorka Morka. There you go. Yeah, if you're
Did
going to
any of
copy
you guys play Mad Max? The Mad Max game that came out a couple of years ago.
No.
That
no, I
would've
didn't.
Fucking fantastic as a Gorka Morka game. Holy shit, that would have been great.
Mm.
Alright, so
Because the best thing about that game was the car combat. Like, it was that game
Car Wars.
phenomenal until you got out of the car. At which point it was like, lol, it's Arkham Asylum, lol. But that game was Gorka Morka. Like, could have been great.
Graveyard Keeper where you turn the bodies into servitors.
Yeah.
Hang on, isn't that just Warhammer? Isn't everyone a servitor?
Or a poxwalker.
Alright, so okay.
Well, yeah,
so what games do you want to see? Well, should wrap it up. We're going over an hour and a half.
7
Mad
hours.
Max as Gorka Morka. That'd be great.
Yep, I'm into it. I'd take that.
XCOM as Necromunda. Like, I think either of those would be great.
Which one? Sorry.
XCOM as Necromunda or Gorka Morka for Mad Max.
I actually
Yeah.
think something like so. Do you remember classic Counter Strike? Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That, but Necromunda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be cool.
First person shooter Necromunda. Yeah.
Or even something like first person shooter, but you play as like a guardsman.
Yep. It's a good 5-second game.
Yeah. No, well,
Call of
it'd be
Duty
good if you had
Imperial
guardsmen
Guard.
versus cultists.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Good.
you could kind of run it like they did with like Battlefield 1, where you're expected to die,
Yeah.
and then it, like you've got like a set piece where you play, and then it
Well,
zaps you to another world or whatever, and
Star Wars Battlefront 40k.
Homeworld.
Like,
I never got to play Homeworld. It came out when my computer was just too shit to run it,
So,
and it got so popular. I finally got a new computer, and everyone had sort of
yes,
moved
Attack Chickens just asked us.
that is
we remember
exactly
Homeworld.
what happened to me with Homeworld.
Yeah, and I never got into it. But it's kind of strange how there's not a lot of first-person shooters for 40k. We got Space Marine was the last one. Oh, they got Eternal Crusade, but yeah.
Space Hulk.
Yeah,
Space
Space
Hulk's
Hulk
the last
kind
one.
of is.
But there was like a 10-year gap or more.
That's because Fire
between-
Warrior was such a garbage fire. Like, I think it put them off it.
But then they
They
brought
are pretty
Space
bad at
Marine out.
first-person
Come on,
shooters.
Space Marine as
Yeah.
third person.
Their
So, yeah.
concepts are really bad. I don't know.
The other
I,
part-
I think I think you can't really. You don't really want to pick like Space Marine or something for that kind of
No.
game.
You pick the other worlds, other races and
That's
stuff
why I'm
like
thinking Necromunda would be a really good one.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of underpowered people versus underpowered people.
Mm.
Yeah, and it gets you into that really gritty, kind of grim, dark survival kind of combat.
I like it.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I often think that the people that invented Necromunda were inspired by the, was it the Seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, and Ace, when they went into this Paradise Towers and they met these gangs. It was such a great episode. It's like one of my favourite episodes, or mini series ever. It was so good.
I think a lot of it comes from Judge Dredd.
That's what I
because
said, Block
before
Wars
they
is
made
what I was
40K,
thinking.
literally Games Workshop's original
Wars,
job was
yeah.
making Judge Dredd stuff.
Yeah.
Before they made 40K, they did all the Judge Dredd RPG and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I think that's where they
Block
took
Wars.
most of it from.
I played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to play Necromunda, and we used to play Block Wars in Necromunda.
Nice. Nice. All right. So, Mark, your wish list for a new game from Games Workshop is?
I guess an updated Dawn of War 1.
Dawn of War 4.
Attack Chicken wants an Arbites detective game.
I
That would
love
be
the
interesting.
Arbites. Yeah. Michael, your wish list for
Pikachu, Arbites edition.
from...
Yeah, like a Space 4X game actually would be fantastic. Like a good Space 4X game, like steal from Galactic Civilizations or Stellaris, but make it 40K. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Or steal
Yeah,
from the
I'll pay
board
that.
game Twilight Imperium. They made a 40K rip-off of Twilight Imperium, didn't they? I own it, I think, but I haven't played it.
Good. Isabel, your
So that'd be
wish list?
cool. Like Space Empires 40K.
My only desire for a computer game from 40K is exactly the same as my desire for every first-person shooter cross sort of strategy game. And you could make it RTS, or you could make it roleplay, but start with a squad of troops and have them improve if they survive. And the survivors improve and gain skills, gain talent, gain power, and move up the ranks, move through the game, and they become your characters. You get to name them, and they live through a campaign, eventually becoming senior officers and leading armies. But actually do it in a, battle by battle, real, okay, those four were dead, now you get to name the remaining three.
Yeah. Sounds like a
And
Killjoy
just sort of
sort
go
game.
through a
Syndicate.
story arc. Yeah.
Attack Chicken brought up Syndicate. That'd
Yeah.
make a great 40K game.
Good. For me, it's go down the Inquisitor and that MMO, that RPG sort of style of an Inquisitor starting out as a novice and just working their way up and just building a war band of themselves and stuff like that. And you imagine forming a party and stuff. I'd love to see an MMO done properly, RPG, where you can't be a Space Marine. It would have to be human.
Or you could even just do an
Inquisitor's
RPG.
still pretty awesome, though.
I know they are, you'd have to work up to it. That's what I'd like to see, an MMO of you living in the world of the Dark Millennium. You're fucked. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know, we're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's that meme? Growing up is thinking that the future will be like Star Trek. Becoming an adult is realizing 40K is more likely.
Very good. All right, we'll wrap it up unless anyone else got something important to say. Good, that was good.
Better to burn out than to fade away.
Fair enough. I enjoyed it. Okay. So we do have our May monthly meet this weekend. I don't think there's many games going on. I know there's a few slow grows going on this weekend. I'm going to fit 2 games in this weekend. It's going to be awesome. So we should have something on for our battle report next month. You'll be excited about that, I can tell. Check us out on our Facebook page at RLG40K. Our Instagram, surprisingly enough, at RLG40K. I know it's a new one. And I should start streaming more often on this Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/redbelly. If I can get my ass in gear.
Get that paint streaming going.
Get that paint streaming going. Yep. What else? Do we have any other social stuff that we like to talk about? Any other social stuff that we're allowed to talk about?
I can plug my book.
Bifrost is a book written by Isabel over here. I'm pointing with my noggin. And you should read it. I have read it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not just saying it because if she sees me next time she's going to punch me. I actually really did enjoy it.
It's not 40k based.
It's not 40k
it is
based.
aliens and explosions and people in powered armor.
Yeah.
When is the Dead Tree version coming out?
Yeah, good question. When I can get my ass into gear.
I do prefer my books made from the skins of trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, next episode, getting your ass into gear. Alright, well, it is. Thank you, Isabel, for joining us. How's it feel being the one on the
inviting me.
camera instead of just being on the keyboard? No, did you enjoy being on the camera and part of the conversation rather than just being on the keyboard?
Yes, I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Sorry.
No.
I thought you were talking to the others, and I'm going to hide now.
No. I try not to talk to the others. They just turn up.
Well, glad to have you. It was good.
Michael,
Thank you.
you look
Lovely to
young
meet you.
as always.
Yes, I am super young.
Trying to just be nice.
Not old at all, he said to his grey beard.
You've got the lighting well. It doesn't look great from here. Well done.
Okay, I'm specially hiding it. Yeah. Now it's not great. You can't see it.
Shimmering.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Michael. Mark. Papa Nurgle. Mark. No. Hello.
The voice
Yes.
from above.
The voice from above.
So, adios, peoples.
All right, and a good night from me. You want to say good night, Isabel? Yeah, good.
And it's a good night from her.
Excellent. And Michael, sign us off.
Well, that's been one wobbly adventure. What comes on next month? Who knows? We still haven't decided. Have a good game, everybody.